It's sundown in Texas, and the Mustangs are herding up.
Friday nights show us how. Bam and the Mac, Coach Hayes our attack. His bells and a band sound. Big D sacks on money down. Rustlers and cheerleaders, Billy's in the fall. Sundown in Texas, this is Mustang football. Rustlers and cheerleaders, Billy's in the fall. Sundown in Texas, this is Mustang football. Pre-game tailgates, Bobby Lewis in the air. Living our dreams through this Mustang DNA we share. Game day clocks and whistles ready at the go. No question about it, cause it's football, you know. Bam and the Mac, Coach Hayes air attack. There's bells and a band sound. Big D sacks on money down. Rustlers and cheerleaders and Billy's in the fall. Sunset in Texas, this is Mustang football. Sun's down in Texas, living it up in the fall. The lights are heating up now, this is Mustang football.
This is Mustang football.
The Coach Mike Alexander Show is presented by the Kim Assad Group.
What we want to do with the Assad Group is just develop a team that is known for their integrity, for working hard and supporting their clients and just giving the best level of service, because that's what clients want. Hi, I'm Kim Assad with Compass Real Estate. I've lived in Texas since I was 11 years old, and we've lived in Grapevine since 2002. Grapevine is a great area to live in. We love the downtown area. It's like an old Western movie with log cabins. It's known as the Christmas capital of Texas, and we're really proud of our city. We love living here. Our kids grew up in the school district, Grapevine Colleyville ISD. We love their education and have been proud of just the relationships and friendships they've made in the community here. There's been all walks of life, from lots of stay-at-home moms to working parents that do a lot of volunteering for the schools. And that's really kind of how I've met a lot of my clients, is volunteering in the schools, whether I'm the teen mom or in the booster club, or volunteered with NCL National Charity League, or with my son through Second Saturdays. We've had a great time just meeting so many people in the community. I've been in real estate since 2000. I'm actually a civil engineer by degree, married a civil engineer, and then I got my real estate license back in 2000 and just have loved it ever since, because I love working with people and just the relationship. Real estate is really a relationship business. It's about developing relationships, somebody that trusts you, and that we can help them accomplish their real estate goals. I was a broker on my own before, and I joined Compass because I just love the image and the support that I have with Compass. I mean, our ads look so professional, our listings look so desirable, and it just helps the client out because I can get their home sold faster. But I have the Assad Group under Compass. I've grown that with 2 agents initially. that have been great agents. And then now my family's even joined. So my husband, who joined Compass about a year ago, and then now my son. I just want to welcome your business, and if you have any real estate needs, whether you're looking for a rental, a purchase, to sell your house, or an investment property, just call me.
The Coach Mike Alexander Show is produced by Tradio.
Eagles' 28-yard line.
I really thought he was going to score, but number 11, Eric Flores.
Hand off to Tejada up the middle inside the 10, the 5, and he just outruns everybody for the touchdown. Caleb Tejada making up for lost time, his 5th touchdown of the night. Again, barely getting touched. This one a little further out this time as he gets it from 28 yards.
I think there's 2 times he's touched the ball that he hasn't scored tonight. So, you know, it's just another day at the office for Tejada. Welcome back.
So again, another two.
Now, here's Carnes and Coach with this week's recap and DNA players.
Hello, Mustang Nation. Matt Carnes, Grapevine Booster here for Week 7 of the Coach Mike Alexander Show, Team 102 season. Special thanks to Kim Assad and Compass for sponsoring again. Special thanks to Tradio for making us look so good and bringing all the big equipment here for the show. Special thanks. We're live from Classic Chevrolet tonight. Not many people have helped Grapevine football as much as Brandy Hodge and Tom Durant and Classic Chevrolet. Great to see it. All the walls, if you look around when you come in to check out the new cars, they've got Grapevine Mustang teams all over the place. So special thanks to them, and thanks for having us tonight. Got a special public service announcement tonight. Want to bring up the 10th Man Golf Tournament coming up to support Grapevine Baseball. Be over at Bear Creek. Graphics on the screen there. So check that out, and make sure you're helping out the Grapevine baseball team. And as always, for the Coach Mike Alexander Show, we'll get to him now. Good to have you back, Coach. Welcome, Coach Mike Alexander.
Appreciate it. Glad to be here.
Well, we're coming off another big Mustang win at home this week, 68-0 over the South Hill Scorpions. Give us your first thoughts of the game.
Well, number one, it's just great to be back home. You know, this has been an odd year. We had that was. Goodness, was at our 3rd home game this season, and only have 4 on the schedule. So it was great to be back home and see the student body in the stands, and you know, all the extended family that make the trip to Mustang Panther and don't typically come to a lot of the out of town games. That was fun. And then, you know, to kick off and watch our boys just execute so well. We knew we had the better team going into the game, so that really wasn't in question. What was in question was how clean we were going to play, how physical we were going to be, and you know, the guys checked all the boxes and did a great job all night long.
Well, you chose a good outfit too. That red and white Mustang look.
You like that, huh?
That's a good look.
Yeah,
I got to admit.
I do too.
It was good looking. So the day started at 7 o'clock. Breakfast of Champions. I mentioned it a lot. Men, if you're not there, you need to be there. Breakfast of Champions. This week was special. We had Next Mustang come speak to us. Cody Kuntz. Not only did he play for the Mustangs, he worked for Grapevine High School. Now he's at another school, but he was on the state championship team.
Yes, sir.
And he told a great lesson that these kids can learn from, the players can learn from. They were literally inches away from not even making the playoffs.
That's right.
And they wound up going and winning a state championship. Tell us your thoughts of Cody's speech.
Well, you know, Cody talked about, repping. He said, you know, respecting the past, you know, and that was a big thing that we've been talking about with our guys, you know, a lot this year, is just understanding that you're a Grapevine Mustang, you're, you know, Team 102, and there's so much history behind it. And, you know, and then just the rest of his talk was just so inspiring, just about, you know, understanding that opportunities you have in life, and you know, and the things that team 98 went through, that they had to scrap and claw for everything they got. You know, they weren't not the team 98, the 98 state championship team. They had to scrap and claw, and to think that they were 6-4 coming out of the regular season and got on a roll. So, you know, that's why you play the game. Anybody can win on any given night, and you know, we have a locker room full of guys that believe that this is their year, and I hope they were inspired by it.
Well, another thing that they can learn from, because we've seen it a lot this year, and we've talked to some of the players about the adjustments, Cody's a classic example of a guy who started in one spot and moved a few times. Talk about the importance of these kids learning a new position and being flexible and being able to learn a new spot to help the team.
I'll say this. I've coached 23 years and been a lot of places, and Grapevine, probably more than any other school I've ever coached at, players in our locker room, they play because they love Grapevine football. And most of them will tell you they don't care what position they play as long as they can be on the team, help the team win. And that's what Cody's story was. You know, he was a quarterback that, you know, got beat out by a guy that, heck, played in the NFL, you know, and then he ended up being a safety, then a receiver. And we have a locker room full of unselfish guys like that too. And that's one of the things that makes Grapevine Mustang football so special.
Well, it does, and we're going to go on. Are we ready for the captain spotlight? You ready to bring
let's
captain?
Bring Drake in. Drake Beck with everybody. My gosh, we're going to have to pan out a little bit to get you in the frame, big boy.
I'd suggest you stand up, but it may not help.
It won't help. Okay, guys, this is Drake Beck. With Drake as a captain. He plays offensive tackle for us. Drake is going to go play football next year at Kansas State University. Go Wildcats, huh? So Drake, first question I want you to talk to the audience about is, what does it mean to be a captain for this football team?
I mean, it means a lot. You know, being chosen by your own teammates, that's always a really big deal. And then you know, just being at Grapevine, you know, there's been 102 teams of different captains. So being a part of that legacy just means a whole lot. And then being able to just lead this team, just a big honor.
All right, Drake, and then I'm going to ask you a question that I've asked some of our other captains. What is one thing that you would say is probably the best thing that we do in our football program? And it could be anything that we do. We do a lot of neat stuff, do a lot of cool stuff that may be out of the box. What's one thing that we do that you say, Coach Alexander, when I leave here, don't ever change that?
I'd say the competitiveness and the brotherhood. Like, in practice, we really go hard at it. And that really makes us really good, and I really enjoy that, going and hitting those D linemen a lot. But at the end of the day, Coach A always is talking about, the brotherhood, the friendship, and we're, at the end of the day, we're still teammates, and just great environment.
All right, last question. I got one more thing for you, just real quick. When did you fall in love with football? Because I know growing up you played other sports and you did a lot of other things. You're going to go play college football next year at a very high level. When was it that you fell in love with this game?
I'd say freshman year, one of those first padded practices. I don't know, just something clicked in there, and ever since then, I just really love playing football. Yeah.
All right, Drake Beck with everybody. Thanks, Drake.
Well, one of the many great things we do, or you do, at Grapevine High School or Grapevine Mustang football is the DNA traits.
Yes, sir. And
most weeks we have a full slate of DNA players. This week we do. So let's meet our DNA players of the week.
All right, we got some new faces and I guess one or two that have been here before, but we're going to start off with Meshach and Goey. Meshach. So, Meshach, tell everybody when we talk about, first off, so you're the attitude player of the week. How do we define attitude?
Our attitude sets our altitude and fuels our energy.
So, why do you think you got the attitude award this week?
I just kept a positive attitude and stepped up when my turn came.
Yeah. Okay. So Meshach, you've had a role. You kind of made a name for yourself going down the kickoffs and being a headhunter on that in that regard. Talk to me about what does it mean to be a leader on the special teams?
I'd say it's just setting an example. We have younger kids watching us play, and I just want to set the tone on kickoff cover.
Well, you do a great job, and you stepped in and played really well at the cornerback position last week, too. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Appreciate you being here, Meshach. Thank you. All right, come on up. This is Psy Owen. This is our center, everybody. Psy's the big man in the middle, making all the communication happen. Psy, you're our compete player of the week, okay? First question I have for you is describe what it's like to be an offensive lineman in this in the hog pen right now, like the guys you play with and stuff. Kind of describe what it's like to be in that group.
Yeah, just being part of that brotherhood is it's something else. being able to work with part of a unit and not just on your own, and just the teamwork that goes into that and how close you have to be is really something special.
Well, y'all are doing a phenomenal job and getting better every week. Talk to me a little bit about the teamwork that it takes with you and the guards and what y'all have to get done all the time.
We have to communication is the biggest key. Just reading the front and then calling the double team and having those guards, Travis and Dylan, working with me.
Yeah, it's fun.
Makes my job a whole lot easier.
Yeah. Well, y'all do a great job, and you're leading well. We're proud of you, Psy. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. There he goes, Psy Owen, everybody. All right. Cam Wagner, senior safety. Okay. So, Cam, you were awarded the Tough Award this week. Got your first pick of the year, right? This week? Second pick of the year, okay. Your coach has nominated you for this award because you're progressively getting more physical as the year goes on. What do you attribute that physicality and that growth in that area to right now?
So we define tough as being comfortable when we're uncomfortable. And I think the past couple weeks at practice, Coach Holland and Coach Anno have challenged me to be more tough up front and get my feet right and just laying the boom even more throughout the games. So I think that's what contributed the most towards the Tough Award.
Well, you're doing a great job. You're getting a lot more physical in the run game, coming down and being a presence in the box, and we need you to keep doing that. And so congratulations on being the Tough Player of the Week this week.
Thank you.
All right. All right, y'all recognize this guy's mug. He's been here, I think, 3 out of the last 4 weeks. This is Josh Logan, everybody. He's our nose guard. Man, we're starting to really think that we made a good decision moving you from offensive line to nose guard, Josh. You're really getting the hang of the position. You're being physical. You're being tough. Now, we gave you the family award. What does it mean? What does it mean to you? Because we tell everybody how we define family, first of all.
We are family. We love our brothers.
Yeah. So what does it mean to be able to be awarded the family award this week?
It means everything, because being a nose guard is a very selfless position. You're not always set up to make a tackle or a sack. Your job is to set other people up to do that, and I feel like I did a really good job of that this week.
There's no doubt. Playing linebacker, which I did in college, you're only as good as the guys in front of you, and you're doing a great job, Josh, holding down the middle. You're making those linebackers behind you better. You're making our defense better. Congratulations. What? Okay. All right, everybody. This is CJ Holmes, number 22. CJ, you had a big night the other night. Got the ball in your hand quite a bit. Made some plays.
Yes, sir.
Tell me what it's like making that transition from the JV last year to the varsity. What's the difference in the two?
Just a high level of play and like having to adjust from guarding the ball to now being able to be receiving the ball.
So you were a cornerback as a JV player. Once again, one of another example of a guy that they got a position move, and you've done it flawlessly. We need to get the ball in your hands more and more. So we gave you the discipline award. Why do you think it's important for a receiver to be disciplined and strive for excellence in everything that they do, not just catching the ball?
Because like Coach DeBest be telling us to do, to strain and block for our teammates. And so if we only worry about catching the ball and getting the ball in our hands and worry about what we do, we want to help the team, we will break the team. So
that's right. Well, CJ, you're doing a great job with the ball in your hands, with the ball out, not in your hands, blocking for your teammates, doing all the little things. You're making us better. Congratulations.
Thank you, Coach.
You bet. And finally, our fight award this week goes to Travis Mason, another one of our big boys. Come on in, Travis. So Travis, this isn't your first rodeo on the varsity. You were a sophomore last year, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Talk to me a little bit about, before we get into your play the other night, what do you feel like is the biggest difference in this team and last year's team? That's probably a tough question, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. I feel like collectively this year we're a lot more united because last year was a bunch of new guys, so we weren't really together at all. But this year we had the advantage of most of the starters returning.
Mm-hmm.
So like Drake and Psy, I knew a lot.
Yeah.
And I feel like this season we've all kind of like come a lot closer together than we did ever before. So I feel just like brother-wise.
Okay, so the last thing we're going to do, and this is going to be very entertaining for the audience, we're going to get Josh down here at nose guard. We're going to get Psy and Travis next to him. We're going to do a little run block. Yeah, a little double team action here. No, I'm kidding. We're not going to do that. We do that enough in the mornings, but if y'all want to see it, all right, so this is early in the game. This is Josh is splitting a double team and making a big play in the backfield. I think it was the first play of the game right here. Just really set the tone. We had great run defense the whole night, and then went 3 and out, or gave the offense the ball after forcing them on a 3 and out. First play from scrimmage. It's not often that a running back runs inside zone, doesn't get touched, but until he gets to the second level. But here we go. Our guys just doing a great job, and then coming back the next play, run a little gap scheme, and Caleb's up on the second level again, makes a safety miss for his second touchdown of the night. That kid bounced off of Caleb the first time, and he was wondering how he's going to get him down the second time, and Caleb just kind of made him miss there.
It might have been a business decision.
Yeah, it was right there. Caleb's not easy to tackle. I'll promise you that. You can ask any of our defensive players. You can pause this for a second, Trey, if you don't mind, or roll it back. But this is something that we work. This onside kick, this wasn't planned, but anytime they got a penalty, and so we move the ball up 15 yards. If we get it, great. We get to practice it. If we don't get it, it doesn't hurt us a whole lot because we've already moved the ball up 15 yards. And so that was really a great opportunity. That's twice in 3 weeks that we've had an opportunity to work that live, and execution was fantastic. Everybody wants to talk about Caden going up and skying and making the catch, but watch Tyler Mears, number 33, do the dirty work and take this kid out right here that's about to catch the football. That's exactly how we design it, draw it up. Great job, Tyler Mears. Great job, Caden Cook. Great job, J.D. Rice on the kick as well. And then come back, a little fly sweep into the boundary, toss it to Parker. Once again, great block, and you can slow this down like you got it, Trey, right there, and everybody's on their blocks. Everybody from South Hill's got a hat on them, and Parker runs in untouched. Back to the defense. Still in the first quarter, Jack Yarbrough doing a great job of leveraging the ball back to his teammates, not trying to do too much. He's sitting out there and in what we call a little bit of a robber coverage, lets the ball come to him. Well executed right there. And you see Cam Wagner, high safety, coming down, filling the alley as well. Jumbo formation. We turned one guy loose. Fortunately, Caleb makes a guy miss there and gets into the end zone. We got to get that cleaned up in the future. But, 10 out of the 11 guys are doing their job pretty well right here on this play. I think that was Caleb's third touchdown of the night. And then here's his number 4. We call this just a little outside zone. Once again, we get the box secured. Everybody's on their guy, and Caleb, once again runs in untouched. Great job with our offense, just executing, doing their assignment all night long. And then some more clips of Josh being dominant up front. The rest of the D-line doing their job. Linebackers filling their gaps. A lot of red jerseys to the football right there. That's what you like to see as a football coach. Guys just running to the football. Look at this swarm right here. That's good stuff.
When they talk about a swarming defense, that's pretty much what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah, you're right about that. Once again, they tried to run up the middle early, weren't successful, and then went outside, and we just very disciplined football team, or very disciplined game plan for us on defense that night. And then here you go, Caleb, in the second half. I think this is the last time he touched the football. In the third quarter there, just creases the defense. Great blocking up front from our offensive line. I think Caleb probably got touched a couple times the other night. It wasn't many. Then here we go, the defense, more swarming defense right here. They run a little misdirection play. Once again, Jack Yarbrough just turning it back, doing his job. Everybody else fitting where they're supposed to fit. That's how you draw it up. And then we get a little strip sack from Latham Way right here on a quarterback pressure on 4th down. We get a turnover. There's the wide copy of it. Yep. All right, here's CJ catching a hitch, making the guy miss, and outrunning everybody to the end zone. It's fun as a coach when you can throw a 5-yard pass and it can turn into a 45-yard touchdown. I'm sure the quarterbacks appreciate that stuff too.
Well, that's the new stat they have that's so popular with yards after catch, because that makes a big difference.
Yeah. Our quarterbacks combined to be 12 of 14 for close to 300 yards, and just had a great night throwing the ball. We had a great night blocking the run game. It was a very, very clean performance on all 3 phases of the game for us.
So we're up big at half. What's the message to the team to keep them focused coming out for the second half?
Honestly, I didn't see him, but for a second, I was out there dancing with my daughter at the halftime show. To be honest with you, Matt. A matter of fact, I almost didn't make it back in. I was going in, and they were coming out. So I was like, "Hold up, all right, let's go out there and finish this thing off." No, there wasn't a big pregame or a big halftime talk this week. Like I said, I was enjoying being a dad, though. That was fun.
Well, it seemed like a good night to get to do that. So let's go check out the second half here.
Well, we had an exciting, second half. We, once again, it's one of those situations where big at halftime. It's great news for everybody involved. We have a lot of guys on our team that show up, come to practice, work their tail off every day. That are, working in a number 2 role right now, and they got to play a lot. And it was exciting to see those guys get out there and perform as well as they did. Can't overlook this huge play by CJ in the corner of the end zone in the 3rd quarter, coming down with that's what you call a moss, I think, Matt. That's called getting mossed. And then Cam Wagner's big interception right there on 4th down. They called timeout right before that, and we were talking about what are we going to do? We're going to pressure him, not pressure him. Coach Handel decides to go ahead and bring the pressure, and the quarterback had to get rid of it before he wanted to, and Cam was sitting right underneath it. It's a nice play right there. Go score, Cam. All right. Once again, everybody, this is Reed Watkins coming in the second half at running back. Doing a great job right now in the absence with Victor being down. And Victor's coming back, getting healthier every week. But Reed's stepping in nicely, backing up Caleb and Parker there. And then here you go, Brody Day is another one of our running backs. This is our 2 offensive line, just blocking their tails off, and just, you really couldn't hardly tell the difference, honestly, in the executions. That's what you love to see as a coach when you roll 2s in and you just keep getting the same result, and that's what happened the other night.
Looks like the same thing happened with the defense too here.
It did. This is our 2 defense. Henry Estes at the point of attack, taking 2 there, and then Christian Gallardo getting a tackle for loss, and it was a good night for everybody. I love that we can send our 2s out there and get the same result.
Getting those reps will pay off, of course, when it comes to playoff time, for sure.
Yeah, shoot, it's good for playoffs. It's good for the future when you got young kids that are out there getting time. It's just good all the way around.
Well, it's a big win in the end. Let's talk about the McKinley and Hutchings. Certify the numbers here when we get that graphic up. That one. And do we have the stats coming up here tonight? We'll have the McKinley and Hutchings stats coming up here in a second. But when they give us some final thoughts on the game.
I'll tell you what the stats were. We played really great run defense. I think they had 14 yards we had a lot of yards. We had over 500. They had like 14. So it was a good night for the Mustangs. 7 rushing TDs, as you see right there. Like I said, our quarterbacks were 12 of 14, very, very efficient, and rushing the football well for 280 yards.
When Caleb wound up with 5 of those 7 and barely got touched along the way.
Well, yeah, we were joking that first one hurt his average when he ran it in from 10 yards. So
another drive cut short by the goal line.
Yep, that's right.
It happens.
Yep.
All right, let's talk about the defense, as you said here. Not a lot to talk about on that side. The defense was solid all night.
Yeah, so we, defensively, we like to talk about numbers versus plays and series, and instead of just like yards, but that's pretty good. They had 35 rushes, 35 rushing yards on 22 attempts for less than a yard a carry. That's, playing great defense up front. And then, we had the 2 turnovers that we caused. And so it was a great night all the way around. Like I said, I was most pleased, Matt, that, we knew we were a superior team going into the game. And we didn't go in there and play slower because we were playing lesser competition or anything like that. We went in and just played at a high level, executed well, and I think when you do that, you can get better in a game like that. Sure. When you don't get better in a game like that, because you can win 68-0 and not get better, I believe. And that's when you go out there and you kind of slop around and don't play at a high level. But we did do that. We did play at a high level, and I feel like coming off that field, I was really, really proud of our guys. They kept the intensity level up the whole game.
I don't think you can underestimate the DNA traits with them being focused on the things that you're trying to ingrain in their play, that the players are also staying focused on that throughout the game. So I think that's also a very important trait. Now, moving forward, we had a game scheduled for Friday night. Just found out that that's going to be changed. There will not be the originally scheduled game for Friday night. What can you tell us about what's going on this Friday night?
I can tell you when we walk off this set, I'm going to be going back to the office and making a bunch of phone calls and getting on the internet and trying to find these boys somewhere to play Friday night,
So here's the news clip. The team that was scheduled for Friday night is not going to be able to finish the season. So Friday night's original scheduled game will not be happening. And I assume that also affects, until we hear more, what we're doing for Breakfast of Champions.
Yeah. There's a list of people that need to get updated here in a minute, for sure. Like I said, literally, I got a phone call in my truck when I was driving up here that Trimble Tech is going to cancel football for the remainder of the season due to a number of issues, and so we're looking for an opponent. So I don't know how far we're willing to reach to go do that, but we're going to do our best to find our guys a game.
Welcome to the life of a high school football coach. It's never exactly what you thought it was going to be. It's always a little bit fluid. So stay tuned for that. More to come when we find out who would be playing. If we get a game, that will affect when Breakfast of Champions is, so you need to stay tuned for that. If you can make Breakfast of Champions, I'm telling you, men of the community, dads, make sure you're there. Anything else before we sign off here, Coach?
I don't think so. Well, I'll tell you what, with this forfeit by Trimble Tech, we moved to 6-0, which we can say will next week at Mustang Panther Stadium, November the 5th, we will play O.D. White for the district championship. So everybody come on out, November 5th, Mustang Panther Stadium, and the winner of that game will be the District 5 4A champions.
Very good. We'll be ready for that. So special thanks to everybody who was part of this one. Special thanks to Classic Chevrolet for opening the Rose Twist. Brandy and Tom, what a great facility. They do have cars for sale. I'm looking around. Cars are hard to find, but I see some. And
I found one right over here.
I know this guy right here has seen a couple, at least one that he's looking at. So don't let him get out without trying to hit him up, even though he's got to go try to find a game for next week. Anyway, special thanks to Kim Assad for sponsoring us again this year. Special thanks to Tradio for producing us, and everyone else who was a part of helping make this one happen. We will see you next week.
All right.
Texas. This is Mustang football. Rustlers and cheerleaders and Billy's in fall. Sundown in Texas. This is Mustang football. Pre-game tailgates, Bobby Blue is in the air. Living our dreams through this Mustang DNA we share. Game day clocks and whistles ready at the go. No question about it, cause it's football, you know. Bam and the Mac, Coach A's air attack. There's bells and a band sound. Big D sacks on Monday.